Hi, everyone. So it's the second morning of the first test West Indies tour of Australia in Adelaide rather, and it's a fantastic test match so far. I got to be honest with you. The security guard, Joseph, is really putting West Indies in the game because if you've been watching this test match, to be bowled out for 188 against what has to be the best team in the world, Australia, no question about it, and to have them 80 for 3 in the first session of the second day, it's good. It's really interesting cricket so far. Lots to talk about this match. You're joining me for a quick watch along. I'll be here, trying to watch part of the morning session with you. So I'll be, watching the cricket while we get to talk. And Happy New Year, everyone. It's good to see everybody on the channel Cricket Tonight. If you want to chat about anything else, well, do that as well. I'm all for it. But I want to zone in on this West Indies cricket team down there in Australia. A very, very young team, if you think about it. The last time we toured Australia was 2 years ago, and quite possibly only 5 players return, if I'm not mistaken, to this team. And you certainly don't want to take an inexperienced team to face the greatest team in the world right now, and certainly not on home soil. But this is what it is, and I have to be honest with you, it's been an entertaining cricket match yesterday. One that started in a way that leave me frustrated, and I can go over that in a second. But the Windies fought back in some interesting ways. I mean, especially at the end, the tail wagged at the end, in particular, and it Joseph, man, where Shamar Joseph, all the talk about him just getting into international cricket, first class cricket in particular as well. He hasn't a wealth of experience, and that's the thing for a number of West Indies cricketers, especially in the test format right now. And so, a bunch of guys on debut there. And to be honest with you, we're in the match right now. Having Australia 82 for 3. I don't think seriously we'll challenge in the end. I mean, it would be good to see the West Indies challenge in the end, but this is an interesting thing. And first over of the morning for Shamar Joseph, picks up a wicket. Get rid of Cameron Green, and yesterday's first ball in Test match, and he decides to take out the great Steve Smith. I mean, that is unheard of in terms of a performance like this. So you have to say Joseph on impressive start as a debutant. He scored 36 runs to help the West Indies in terms of getting to that score of 188. Because at one point we could have been scuttled out for less than 100. And at one point we could have made a good amount of runs, especially with the likes of the resistance that we saw from the likes of Kirk McKenzie, who looked good in his second test match, scoring a maiden 50. But in somewhat of an anticlimactic for him. I don't know if it's anticlimactic is the right word, but you do all that hard work to get to 50, and then you give away your wicket. I'm not quite sure if it's a concentration issue. I mean, it has to be, but you're also facing some top class bowling, and we can get into it. I think there's a few guys that got out yesterday that you have to hold your hand up to the likes of Pat Cummins, superb bowler, Josh Hazelwood as well. But the likes of a few of the West Indies batters gave away the wickets. I thought it was a bit soft, even the way in which McKenzie got out. The same for the wicket keeper, Joshua De Silva. There's a lot of things that we have to think through here, because when you're playing this such quality opposition, the thing you don't want to do is to give away a wicket. There was some fabulous bowling, and Cummins is really strategic with his bowling. And is having a wonderful summer over there in Australia. And Hazelwood, what can we say? The two of them together, you put Mitch Stark in it. It's a very fantastic lineup there for Australia. So I don't care who you are, you would struggle, right? And we saw it recently. Pakistan was there. They struggled a lot against this Australian unit. And no one is giving this West Indies team a chance. And what you hope here is that you'll get a bunch of guys who will try to fight and play some good cricket and hopefully you can nurture it. And I'm happy to see that Shamar Joseph has hit Test cricket as if this is normal for him, right? Who goes out there, he's swinging early, making some runs, making the tail wag, and then first ball in Test cricket, wicket, 3 wickets already, taking all 3 wickets in this Australian first innings here. And what we need is some support. We need the likes of Alzar Joseph and the likes of Kimar Roach to do something. Can we get another Can we get another wicket before we get to the lunch interval? Because if you do that, then I think you're in good business. Good business if you can get to that. Thank you everybody for joining me. I'm talking cricket, lovely cricket. Happy New Year. Haven't done a live in a while, and I promise you this year will be a lot of fantastic stuff on the channel. It's Olympic year, number of things coming up. But your thoughts on the cricket if you're a cricket fan. And if you want to talk about other things sports related, I'm open for it. I never back down on the sports conversation. I know a number of other things happening in other types of sports. But yeah, fantastic cricket so far. I think, I mean, it's hard to say fantastic cricket. It's entertaining cricket because the 188 from the West Indies, at the end of the day, when you think about it, if they could have gotten another 50 runs, 60 runs, then you put yourself in a position where when you get this kind of performance here from Shamar Joseph, then you really start to put pressure because this is a massive Australian batting lineup, and he's already gotten the big wicket so far. Smith, which I don't know what your thoughts on Smith stepping up for Australia, deciding to open the batting. David Warner retired after the Pakistan series. Not quite sure your thoughts on this. I'm not quite sure if Steve Smith should be opening the batting for Australia, but they can experiment. I think partially they're experimenting because they think it's the West Indies. But kudos to Joseph for picking his wicket and for as long as he lives. If he doesn't do anything else in Test cricket, he will remember this moment. First ball in Test cricket, and to take the wicket of arguably the best batsman in the world right now, or well, maybe for a period of time. Arguably, you have the likes of Virat Kohli. There's a bunch of other guys, but Smith is certainly up there. His average is ridiculous. He's fantastic performance for Australia. So to get him out is a prize wicket. Whatever we think of it, Steve Smith will go down as an all-time great, despite whatever else is surrounding his career. So the likes of Alzar Joseph, I think, needs to do something here. We need, because we're defending a small total if you're a West Indies fan, and you can't rely on the kid alone to be doing this. We'll see whether or not Gudikesh Moti can come out and do something. I didn't see much for Nathan Lyon last night. He didn't look himself either. I'm not quite sure if the pitch is really good for spin, which is interesting. Seemed to me like if you bowl some good full balls, a fuller length rather, maybe a couple movements off, you get some movement off the pitch somewhat. But we need something. We need a Kimara Roach to do something right now. Because I think if the West Indies can get another wicket or two, then that's a position you want to be in, right? You're not defending a big total. What you don't want to happen is what's happening right now. The likes of a Kawaja, who's been good all summer as well, is on 40 runs right now. He can take the Test match out of your hand really quickly. You don't want a massive deficit going into your second innings. Travis Head, not the greatest of Australian summers for him in terms of runs, so he will be looking for some runs. Currently trailing by 103 Australia right now. I think Head is sitting there and saying, this is my opportunity to score, and not only score, to score big. So that's something that we have to look out for, right? Happy New Year to everybody. I'm hoping that we can see another couple wickets here, because I think it will make it competitive. It's a lovely strike there by Travis Head. That's just textbook right there. Dispatching Roach all the way to the boundary right there. Yeah. This is not good. We have to clean it up. If these guys start to get into the mix, then there's problems, right? So big year for cricket too, as well as amongst the other sports that I like to cover, track and field, and a lot of explainers coming your way. So don't leave the channel. I know I've not been around for a while, but things happen. Yeah, big year also for T20 cricket. West Indies is hosting the T20 alongside the United States. Haven't figured out which games, if I'm going to any of these games yet. I'll probably try and go to the game. A month ago, I was in Trinidad and Tobago where I got an opportunity to see West Indies beat England. Well, they lost the first match, but they eventually won the series. And there's something cooking in West Indies T20 cricket as well. I think I like what Sammy's doing. I think I said it on my live when I was there that the challenges for the T20 outfit and the Robman Powell led outfit to, in my estimation, is getting another kind of bowler that can take over in the power play. I think if you can find a bowler that can take wickets just outside of the first power play, outside of the power play, then maybe you're in business. Yeah, I don't really know if you can unearth a bowler in time for the World Cup because that's a few months away. But it would be good that it would be great if you could find a leg spinner or somebody who could do something special, even a pace bowler. But the team is stacked. I think it was good to see Andre Russell back in the flesh. That's Roach almost got an inside edge there on Travis Head. So West Indies need a wicket here. But yeah, I think T20 not looking too bad. I also think, when you think about the likes of the one day outfit might be improving as well. So there's some things to think about. The biggest challenge for West Indies cricket too, especially on the test format, is once you get these guys, is can you get them to play a lot of cricket, right? The first class season isn't as competitive as you want it to be. And then can you continue to develop them so that they would want to play test cricket? And test cricket is in a crisis. I was reading former Australian player recently. I think it was Greg Ian Chaplin. Was it Ian or Greg, one of them? And he was thinking about test cricket as a struggle. Many years ago, I didn't think I know test cricket has been struggling for a while, but I'd often thought that what would have happened was with the invention of T20, which I never liked at the time, but now I've come around to it, that we would have seen a decrease in 50 over cricket, and then you could focus on both test cricket and T20 cricket, but that's not really the case. And with the expansion of all these leagues around the world where players can get opportunities to make money in a shorter version of the game, and we can't complain about that, it's also had a massive impact on many cricketing nations. So if you're not India, if you're not Australia and England, then you're in trouble. See South Africa declaring that they won't be having any more test match at home because it's a losing endeavor. That is not good for cricket in general, right? And we need to think about this. And West Indies playing Australia 2 test matches. That's just not enough. I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to see in order to develop the cricket, because I think this West Indies team has a few players, especially in the bowling department, to come. We'd like to see a fit Jaden Seals back. But if you're not playing competitive cricket, if you're not playing competitive cricket at the first class level, because when you look at these guys coming into test cricket, in honesty, they shouldn't be in test cricket yet. Not that because they don't have the talent, but they haven't done enough work to put them through, and they get easily exposed when they come to this level. And Australia is just like in great shape. Not only is Australia possessing some of the great talented cricket, and tactically they're great, and right now you have to say that Pat Cummins under his leadership for cricket in Australia is fantastic. Australia's just winning after winning, winning the World Cup when, at first you didn't think it would happen. And then, and winning World Test Championships and Ashes and all of that kind of stuff. These guys are in fine fettle. And so you don't want to go there and struggle. But, so far the West Indies guys are showing some effort here. Like to see better performance on the with the bat and even with the ball right now. But Graves is, I think, coming into ball right now, and hopefully he could do something here. But if we could pull a wicket or two out before we get to the lunch break, then I think West Indies would feel okay with this. My thinking here is that you don't want Australia giving you more than 100, 150 to chase. Well, that I mean, already if you have 100 to chase, and in then and then you have to make runs. It's unlikely that this will go 4 days, right? So you have to really see if you can take them out. And the wicket is interesting. It's not. I don't know if it's playing true. I don't know if anybody else is watching the cricket, but it usually sometimes you can trust the bounce on this pitch, but I don't know. I don't. I haven't seen it in recent times. I did see clearly the cricket against Pakistan, but yeah. But let me know what you think. What are you excited for sports this year? If not for cricket, there's a lot of things coming up. We have the Olympics coming up very soon too. Big year for track and field. Track and field indoor started. I'll probably get to some of that hopefully this weekend or in the coming weeks. But plan to be around. Plan to putting some interesting stuff on the channel, right? But yeah. But I really I sing. It's like a beating a dead horse, and saying the same things all over again. But I just think that we can't afford for Test cricket to die. And as small as the region of the West Indies is, it's something that you dominated for such a long period of time, and you got to get back competitive, right? So I haven't thought about what my benchmarkers would be for success here. Last time I think we toured Australia, I was thinking you want to take the test matches into, can you go into a day 4? Can you get it to a day 5? Those are markers. Can you win a few sessions, right? Because this is a top class unit that you're facing here. And so I suspect this is the case. I mean, I think there's how many debutants was in this West Indies team? It's a lot of people who came into the match that, I mean, we didn't really expect to play, but this is the problem. We're missing important players, the likes of a Holder, like people left back in the Caribbean, people who are going to play other cricket or they're resting in preparation for this. I'd like to see a Shea Hope back into Test cricket, right? I think it's about time. Shea Hope is wonderful over ODI cricket. He's also playing a good role, I think, for the West Indies in T20, an anchor role. Can he come back into Test cricket? Because the talent is there. Certainly, the talent is there. So, I hate to see like top class players that's not available. It's just one of those things, right? I want Alec. I think Athanaze is also a player that will, tremendous talent. Like Kurt McKenzie, the same. Shandapal, can eventually do something. But I think you really have to develop these players. I'm happy that Gudikish Modi got his chance, because if you're gonna give him an opportunity to play at this level, you have to work with him for a sustained period of time. Last time they were trying this, I think he got injured at this level. He's also playing in T20. So I think we have a set of players that should be able to do things. We have some players that are missing as well. And for whatever weakness the West Indies cricket team may display, the one thing that I never thought is particularly weak is the talent, right? Talent may not be coming out in the same abundance. And speaking of talent, we're thinking about under 19 World Cup coming up, and I think I was reading an article about it's just a showcase for the Indians to showcase how much talent that they have, which is undoubtedly a lot. But we have not been short of talent. What is really the problem is the development of the talent, and it's nothing new. I've said it on a number of occasions, and what it requires is not only just to build them up in the region. I think it may be the time for, and I'm saying this on the fly and I haven't thought about it much. I was speaking to someone the other day who's deep in Indian cricket, but or a fan of Indian cricket. And one of the things I was thinking about is that for nation states like the West Indies and say your Pakistans and New Zealand, maybe not less so New Zealand because they can host a lot of stuff. South Africa, Bangladesh, all these teams, really need probably some more creative ways of creating test match cricket. I think potentially what we could be doing here is some mini tournaments, right? On neutral grounds or on different grounds where you could get other fans out, and you can extend it into a 6 week period and you play different uh, opposition, and maybe that can help to grow and get these players to play more. Because if your first class cricket isn't great, so Shield cricket in Australia is fantastic, county cricket in England is working very well. So players have an opportunity there, and then when you couple that with the other tournaments they do and opportunities to develop their talent, it's better. When you have a poor region or in terms of resources to finance cricket, no one is coming to watch cricket in the Caribbean. When I was at the Brian Lara Academy just recently, this is a T20 match. It was not even packed. And I understand maybe times are getting hard, but there's a lot of seats available there, and premiums, and even there are cheap seats available too. If I wasn't mistaken, like to sit on the mound there or so, and they didn't come out in numbers, right? And this was a West Indies team that was leading the series at the time, 2-1, I think, right? And just needed one more to win. And so that's some interesting stuff. And it's cricket over Christmas, which is not something that used to happen in the Caribbean, but it speaks volumes. So you can't rely on a small population. You can't rely on for that to happen. So you have to get more creative. I think I saw something recently like the West Indies is in search of a new either marketing director or something of the sort. Well, maybe they need to think about that. Think about different types of competitions that can unearth that. Maybe you need some partnerships in terms of how you do your first class cricket in order to develop talent, right? Pick a team that potentially is, you're on different sides of the hemisphere, right? Or when climate is too hot in their conditions, can they come over and participate in your first class cricket, and you do the same by sending different players there? Because if you look at under 19 cricket, and I think it's a benchmark, a lot of people say this, and you see some of the talent there, when it gets to this period of moving them from from that 19 to say 25 and beyond, and when they should be establishing themselves and fighting for places in the national teams, other countries are doing a much better job at this. And if I go back to my original point too, at some point, I don't care who you are, if you're not playing a lot of cricket, exposing yourself to series after series, then you will be behind. So you're already behind the likes of India, Australia, and England, because it's big business. Cricket is business. They sell out. And sometimes Test cricket don't sell out in India, but definitely in Australia and in England. And so you're behind them, and they're playing a lot more cricket at Test level. And then they have much better structures below that for first class cricket. You can't compete. I don't care who you are. And this is an interesting thing. I don't want to go again into the power dynamics at ICC, but we are allowing a bunch it's like three big states that dominate world cricket. They dictate the calendar, they dictate everything, and until you can do some changes there, we can't do anything. Thank you everybody for joining me. If you have thoughts on the cricket, I'm happy to talk about it, and if you don't, and uh, I'm happy to talk about anything else. Let me know where you're joining me from. I'm not seeing any comments coming through, so I'm not quite sure if the comment structure is working. I'd have to ask my producer to take a look at that. But yeah, lots of stuff coming up in the not too distant future. That's a lovely shot there by Travis Head. Ooh, I think Joseph on the line stops it eventually, saves a couple runs right there. Yeah. Yeah, this Shamar Joseph, is that Shamar Joseph? I have to see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Joseph is having the test match of his life, right? He's like he's taking wickets, he's making runs at the end, and he's also diving to stop stuff. I mean, there's the kind of commitment you want to see, right? Who he did stop it. It's a fantastic in the field there to save a boundary. So this is good. I mean, West Indies are fighting. I think there's a drinks break right there. I think it's the first drinks break of the morning. Uh, Head on 20, Usman Khawaja 41. Nice little partnership brewing right now. And what the West Indies need is a wicket. I would say if they could get another wicket, possibly two before you head into the lunch interval, then that would put them into strong position. No, well, not strong position. That would make the test match a little bit more even because the long Australia sits there and piles on the runs, it's over. You don't want Australia making 400 here. If they make 400 here, then I'm be honest with you, I don't think they're batting again, right? So yeah. So thank you everybody for joining me. This is a good night to talk about cricket, lovely cricket. If you're enjoying the test match, let me know. I mean, it's been good so far. Australia trailing by 88 runs right now. They need another 88 runs before they start adding on to this. And somehow you really wanted the West Indies to make maybe about 220. If they had made 220, 230, then they would feel much better. Yeah. Yeah. But we're in a situation, But yeah, West Indies is probably gonna win this, lose this match easily. Australia should win both test matches. There's no question about it. It's just the markers. Like if you're watching this, you're a fan of West Indies, or if you're just a fan of a cricket in general, like what would be the marker for success for the West Indies team? Because you can't expect them to get anything when they go to Australia. At this rate, I think the test match will go beyond 3 days. You would hope, and so that's good. Can you get it into 5 days? That would be an interesting kind of thing. I would say if you could get Australia out for 300 runs, that's still a massive deficit there. But if you sit down and get a good start from Brathwaite and Chandapal and you chip in the rest, you could prolong this match, right? I think one thing I want to say is that I don't think it's not for lack of trying, right? There were some things yesterday that concerned me. The way I think Hodge got out, the way even Kurt McKenzie got out concerned me a little bit. But he was really doing things early before he got to that half century that made me feel like he was learning. I think McKenzie was being aggressive, and he was doing good work, and I I thought that he had a big score in him. I don't know your thoughts on it, but I thought Mackenzie had a big score in him had he not gotten out. I don't know if it's a loss of concentration. It's hard to say. I haven't, first, and then look, it's just what is it a second test match, and that's the thing, right? Like we have these guys that don't play a lot of first class cricket, and we put them against Australia. So kudos to the lad. Hopefully he'll think about his performance. I mean, you're facing arguably the best bowling lineup on the planet. The Indians might say something on a given day if you can get the likes of if all of those guys, Ashwin, all of those guys together, Boomerang. But right now, I have to be honest with you, I don't think anything is better than what the Australians can offer, right? I see we have a little poll running where we're saying, 40% of the people think that West Indies can win this match, 60 Australia. I think there's a little bias there. This is probably like 99%, 90% that Australia would win this in my estimation. You got Gudikesh Moti coming on to bowl. Let's see if he can get any turn here. I don't know what he'll get. Let me know where you're joining me from. If you've been here before, if it's your first time on the channel, welcome. Thank you. We're talking cricket, lovely cricket. And, second day morning session of the test match there in Australia, Adelaide. And so far, Usman Khawaja is batting sensibly. He opened the batting with Steve Smith, and we saw how brilliant Shamar Joseph was to remove Smith, then to remove Marcus Labuschagne, which I think is also a fantastic player, and then to get Cameron Green this morning as well. And the batting lineup for the Aussies is tough. It's a strong batting lineup here. They bat very deep, and And at moments in the game, if you're not careful, they can take it away from you, right? So you're thinking about Kawaja can get big scores. Travis Head hasn't make any runs this summer, this Australian summer, and so he's out for something. The likes of a Mitch March. Mitch March can turn this test match into a ODI if he wanted to, right? So I think it goes down. Stark can bat somewhat. Pat Cummins can bat. So what you don't want is this pair to, get like 100 partnership and move beyond. Right now Kawaja is close to a half century. We got to get rid of somebody soon. And I don't care who you get rid of, but if you're the West Indies, you want one of these guys to go and to see if you can pick them out. And the unfortunate thing is that you're not getting any. I'm surprised at Azar Joseph right now. Uh, yeah, I think the economy rate is good, but I think we need to be a little bit tighter. Roach the same has not particular. This is like probably 6 runs right now. Yeah, pull that excellent shot there by Travis Head. That went out of the park. So good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We're just doing a little watch along as we talk about this test match. And so yeah, this is a bit concerning right now. 26 runs for Travis Head, Kawaja on 41. I'm a bit nervous. I think if you're a fan of West Indies cricket, probably should be impartial, but I can't. I I will be a bit nervous right now. They're inching closer to the West Indies first innings total, and once they get over this, I think they're gonna start making some runs. So yeah, yeah. I don't think there's much. I think actually it wasn't Moti, it was Graves rather. Sorry, but it's not much in the wicket too. I think you have to be skillful. You have to think. Uh, maybe a couple fuller balls and then maybe one. You know, trying to get them to nick at it. You got to think on this pitch. And I think what Pat Cummins did was good. Hazelwood probably should have gotten. Uh, I think Josh Hazelwood probably should have gotten a fifer, but Pat Cummins decided to rest him. But both of them picked up. Mitch Stark wasn't as good as you expect him to be, but still had a good economy rate. So, yeah, I don't know what will happen here. I really do hope that the West Indies can find a way to dislodge one of these guys right now. Yeah, because whatever Graves is bowling right now is not particularly good. It's probably medium pace at best right now. Yeah, maybe it's time to. Well, it's probably still a little bit early, but maybe the captain can bowl a few. That could be an interesting thing. Maybe switch it up somewhat. Yeah, yeah. But if you're not offering some good pace on this pitch, I think you're gonna get smacked around. Yeah, and what Graves is serving up here is lollipop bowling at best. Yeah, it's good line there, but it's not particularly fast. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see everybody chiming in. Let me know if you want to talk about other things. Also, Happy New Year again to everyone. A lot of good stuff for the channel this year to come. And yeah, really looking forward to to seeing this. Stick around and we'll talk some cricket. I mean, your predictions too for even the T20 World Cup later this year. Oh, it was a fantastic cricket match today. Speaking of cricket match, not India versus Afghanistan that went into two super overs. India eventually won that, but it was a great game of cricket. I had to admit I couldn't get to see all of it today. Well, not much anyway. I took a couple peeks and when I had some time to see what was going on, but you know, I probably was try and watch some of the highlights. But it was what seemed to be a fantastic year for cricket. And Afghanistan, oof, they've been playing fantastically well this year. Their cricket has improved tremendously, really well at the World Cup, ODI, the 50 over World Cup, and it's good to see. It's good to see other nations stepping up, nation states that you don't think would be uh, doing as well, and they themselves have a lot of issues, right? It's not like you can just roll up and play in Afghanistan. So they're playing high quality cricket given their geopolitical issues as well. So so whew, really good shot there by Kawaja. This is easy stuff. I don't really know what Moti is bowling. I'm not blaming him. I don't think Lions also yesterday had much. I don't think the pitch is doing much yet. Yeah, that's really easy, easy. It's gonna get. It's too short there, short of a length. It seems like so. Yeah, yeah. I think Kawaj is gonna try and get to this fifth half century, and then he's gonna probably start stepping it up. Yeah, yeah. What do they trail by right now? I think what's the score? It's 112. Yeah, the trail by 76 runs. Yeah, Weston is really need wickets. There's no other way to think about it. Need some wickets, probably some maidens. Can you stifle, the run rate somewhat? It's hard to put these guys under pressure. I don't think you can really put Kawaj under any real pressure. He's settled right now. You're gonna need something special to take him out at this stage. Travis Head is the one I would have been attacking right now because he's a fantastic batsman, but he's not in good nick, and you want to give him something, right? So are you going to set him up? In a way, I think, given that you're not getting any real turn or anything to speak of on this pitch, you probably got to set him up. Try to set him up to get some wickets or so. Thanks everyone for joining me. We're discussing cricket, lovely cricket, and anything else you want to talk about. I think it's good to see people on the live, but no one's talking to me, which is also fine. I'm not drawing you out like that, but but if you have, we value your thoughts on a number of issues, and I like to engage on those things. And if you want to talk about something else, I'm game for it. If you want to talk about NFL football, basketball, track and field, real football or association football, soccer, anything you want to talk about, I'm game. I'll probably even talk billiards with you, but I'm not. I don't really know much about that. But yeah, ooh, that's an interesting thing. Uh, uh so Graves is asking for a review here. I don't think this is it outside the line. I don't think they're gonna go for this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Only the bowler was shouting for this. So let's see. Yeah. Whew. I mean, it's probably strained down. I mean, it's worth a shot, but I don't think you want to waste a review on that. Oh, lovely shot. Man out there in the deep, but this is getting a bit too easy for Australia. Got to cut off those singles. You got to get tight right now. Let's see. Yeah. It's an inside edge anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So we need wickets, Yeah. Oh, he's gone. Lovely wicket. Very good. This is the thing. You got to do a couple that flash out offside. Very good wicket there by Graves. Weston is get another wicket. This is very important there. Kawaja is gone. A guy who I think was settled. Flashing outside of his off stump right there. It's a kind of half drive for me. Yeah. Alec Athenes collects that. And Graves, for whatever medium pace Graves was bowling, he picks up a wicket. And the Western is, every time you think they're a little bit out of this, they're still in it. They're making it competitive. This is good cricket. Good cricket here. You're defending a very low total, so you want to clean up on the amount of runs you're giving away. But that's good. That's really good right there. Really, really good. If they can pick up another wicket before lunch, then you have to say it's a competitive space. So far, many people would think, I think partially too, there's the expectation of where you think West Indies cricket is. And Yeah, that's really, he should not have flashed after this. It's like kind of a fake drive there by, I don't really know. I mean, yeah, it's nothing there, but that's a very good wicket for Graves, and Justin Graves picking up a wicket there, and the West Indies are fighting. How about this West Indies test outfit? Uh, I like the shirt. I think I should get one of those. I have an interesting story of when I was in the Caribbean just recently trying to buy uh, some gear in Trinidad at the West Indies cricket game, and I have to say it was not the easiest of experience, even though they had a shop there. I don't want to bring down any kind of shame on the outfit, but there's a number of things that was left to be this. Like a shirt was going for I think 80 or 90 US, which is fine, whatever. It's probably a little bit pricey, but that's the going rate. But then they weren't taking any kind of electronic payment, so I don't really understand like how much money you expect people to be like going around with, and they weren't offering any. I think there was a guy who didn't get a receipt and he was upset about it, and yeah. But back to the cricket. Lovely, lovely cricket. I'm happy Weston is 2 wickets this morning. Could be a little bit tighter in terms of giving away runs, but if they can they pick up another one before lunch? I think another wicket before lunch. And thank you everybody for joining me. Let me know where you're joining me from. Are you watching the cricket as well? If you're watching the cricket, let me know. If you want to talk about something else, I'm happy to kind of talk about that as well. Yeah, but ooh, that's a lovely, lovely shot there. Lovely, lovely, not shot, lovely ball there from Graves. Have Mitch March driving right now. Yeah, yeah. That's a good line right there. I think Graves is finding the right line, the right line. Ooh, I don't know what happened. I think I lost my camera there. Not quite sure, to be honest with you. I will do a quick switcheroo. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Let's see if I can change the settings real quickly. Sometimes I gotta change the camera. It's not the best of cameras I'm gonna switch to right now. Yeah, yeah. Not quite sure what happened to my camera, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah. Let me let me check in a second here. If my producer can take me off screen 1 second, like I can see what was going on. Maybe yeah. Not quite sure what happened there. It could be an interesting thing, but I'll just switch to this camera here, and you get to see me in a less than and good looking way. Yeah, I'm trying to see if my audio settings are still working on the way that I want it to work. Yeah, so I had to actually switch audio settings as well. I apologize for that. Yeah, but yeah. Thanks everyone for joining me and for that little snafu here. I'll probably stick around for a little bit more and see. Yeah, we got Shamar Joseph. I think maybe he can do something. I'm hoping he can pick up another wicket and see what happens here. Yeah, but Weston is a good performance so far. Really good performance, especially by this man Joseph on the screen, and hopefully he can pick up another wicket. 3 wickets already. He's been the pick of the bowlers for the West Indies, and let's see if we can get something else out of him. Right? Good to see Graves picking up a wicket to help him out. Ooh, flashing right there. Travis Head is flashing. I think there's something about this former security guard that I'm liking. I got to be honest with you. I'm really liking. I think I saw him a couple of times at Guyana when I watched some of the first class cricket, but not a lot. I gotta be honest with you. I haven't seen much of him except for a bit of original stuff that I may catch on YouTube, right? But it's good performance so far not even good performance, an excellent test match so far from Shamar Joseph. His 36, I think, was important for the West Indies to get to that total, as we mentioned, wagging the tail, if you want to use that kind of a language. And he was ready. And then once he got his opportunity to bowl, immediately took Steve Smith out. Then he gets Marnus Lawashane. He has Cameron Green. That kind of CV on debut is big business there, right? And if he can pick up another wicket right now, certainly the strike bowler for West Indies, you get another wicket before you get to the. Ooh, that's a good shot there. That's a good shot there by Travis Head. I think Travis Head is thinking that he has to be in attack form. Thanks everyone for joining me. Let me know where you're joining me from. If you're watching the cricket, what you thought so far on this morning session, or if you want to talk about other cricket matches there. As I said today, there's a fantastic game with Australia, not Australia, India and Afghanistan over T20. Anything you want to talk about, NBA. If you're watching NFL, if you want to talk sports business, I'm there for it too. Sports and politics. I talk everything sports. Ooh, I think we can set up Head. I think Head is basically in an aggressive mode, which is good. Maybe if you can find a way to set him up another wicket before lunch, and I think the West Indians would be chuffed. So no ball right there, which is not good. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. A little bit overstretching there by Shamar Joseph. We'll give him that. Give him that. Give him the performance so far tonight. Yeah, but what are you guys most excited for? No one's talking to me tonight. Interesting. Unless the comment section isn't working. If you've sent us a comment and it hasn't come through, then we may have a technical snafu. So I apologize if you've done this, but yeah. But maybe my producer can test out a comment just to see. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Well, 119 for four, 38 overs, going, and yeah. And right now, I guess we have a heavy West Indies crowd here, because to think that 64% of you who've joined the poll thinks that the West Indies can win this test match, that's when you put, support for your country over actual thinking this can happen, right? Yeah. Because I just don't see it, right? But I'm happy that they're playing well enough to, this could have been 120 without loss, and to have 4 wickets down, Australia 120 for four. That's good cricket. Good cricket. And there's not much to defend. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the morning session. Yeah, but hopefully you guys enjoyed my little spiel on the cricket. I really appreciate everybody joining me. As usual, you know that on this channel we do a number of things. We have explainers, shorts, we have interviews, a lot of lives. I know a lot of people like when I come live, and I promise you, I'm going to do a number of lives this year, because it's important that I connect with you. And as we get ready for the Olympic season, I know some people are diehard track and field fans, and they want that kind of content, and there's a lot to cover, and I'll be on top of it as best as I can, and hopefully you stick with the channel. If you enjoy this and you want to see more, give me a little thumbs up there. That's the best way to support. One of the best ways to support the channel. Another way is to obviously subscribe, hit the notification bell, because that way you'll know when we release videos, when I go live, anything on the channel. I appreciate everybody. I'm hoping that Westons can pick another wicket before the evening is over, before we get to the lunch interval. I would say 2 wickets. If the West Indies get 2 wickets before they get to the lunch interval, then my estimation here is that we would be a little bit ahead in the test match. But that's very unlikely to happen. But maybe another wicket. Maybe we can see if Graves is back in action here. If maybe Joseph can pick up something, and we'll see where it takes us. But I hope you stick around and watch a lot of cricket, because cricket is important. Ooh, it's just short. Yeah, just short. Yeah. Yeah, the wicket is doing some interesting stuff. I have to be honest with you. This is like, I can't really see that. It doesn't look like the seam. Yeah, a little bit of cross seam. It seems like. Don't quote me on that. I'm trying to watch from afar, but He got a little bit thing there, a little bit of a touch there from Mitch March, just dropping in front of slip there. So there is some things that you can do here, right? And I think if you can eh, eh, play around with a couple fuller lengths, then potentially one that's a little bit wide, they will flash at it because West Indies was flashing at that when Pat Cummins was doing it and Josh Hazelwood, and I don't really see why. And so far, that's some of that can happen here. I think you have to be creative or a thinking cricketer to get some wickets on this pitch. It's not. It's a good wicket. Oh, that's a lovely drive there, but cut off by the captain. It's a good wicket, but if you are skillful, I think you can get wickets. And if you're a batsman, I don't think it's playing true to form. Like ah, thanks for joining me. What will it take for the West Indies to win this match? Well, the cliche is you gotta take 20 wickets, but uh, I don't know. The only way West Indies could win this match is if they were to bowl out Australia for less than 250 and then make that amount. I don't think you can win. I don't think they can win the match. I don't even know why I want to speculate on that. Unless something magical happens where, some guy picks five wickets for 10 runs and, you go in there and you can make a reasonable amount of score and then get them out again. Otherwise, I can't see it. This is the best team in the world that they're playing, Australia. What they have to think about is playing good cricket. Just play good cricket, apply yourself, don't give away your wickets. That's the most important thing. Because these guys are going to get you out. They can get out almost any batsman in the world. This is a top quality bowling unit the Australians have. Pat Cummins, generational bowler. Probably the same we can say for likes of Hazelwood. Stark on his day, same. Nathan Lyon, same. Right? So you're thinking about an experienced outfit that can get you out in multiple ways. And then they can bring in some other guys to do things as well. So you're not really, you don't want to give them freebies. That's the thing, right? You have to make them work hard for the wicket. And cricket is like any sport. If you get a ball that it's unplayable, you raise your hand and you give the bowler credit, right? And I think some of that happened. Ooh, a little bit unlucky there. And so that's what I think there. So the batsmen, when West Indies get an opportunity to bat again, and hopefully hopefully they won't be chasing or trailing by too much, because they will trail, I think, unless West Indies can find some miraculous bowling. Maybe you could go back to what? When did when I'm going to go really back old school and date myself or so, but I remember when Ambrose did a destruction in Perth many years ago. Unless you can find something to clean up the rest of this Australian team, which I doubt you can, then you're gonna struggle, right? So, that's a lovely ball there by Joseph. Lovely ball. Have Mitch Marsh all over the place. That's pretty nice right there. Yeah, this Joseph guy is really special. Really special. Yeah, that's what you want to do. And I think if Joseph can play around a little bit here, somewhat more, I think he's setting them up. I think he's a really thinking cricketer. I haven't seen much of him. Only a little bit of him in regional cricket when I get to see it on YouTube, because I don't live in the region. But he's something. He's something. And if he can get another one right now, I think this would be a good thing. Yeah. 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 I think a couple more fuller balls, then get two more full balls, I think, fuller in length, and then maybe something that can deviate slightly wider than what you want. Make them flash a little bit. Maybe you can pick off another one in the slips. Yeah. But one more wicket, and I think that would be decent. Oh, oof. He's bowling really well. This Joseph guy is bowling really well. His elder statesman Al Jari, which there's no relationship. He needs to step up to. Yeah. This traveled a lot. This just drops. Oh well, not really. Yeah, it did bounce good enough in front of Edwards, but I like what I'm seeing here from Joseph. Like what I saw last night and what he's doing right now. Uh, pretty good. He's making them work. Making them work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the one or two. Is it two? Yeah, off the over. Yeah. Is a good guy. Good guy. Thanks everyone for joining me. We're talking cricket tonight. I had to switch my camera a little bit if I look kind of shady. I think my something went wrong with my main camera. We'll figure that out in a second. But we're watching cricket. But I'm here for any other thing you want to talk about too. If you want to talk about track and field, NBA, NFL, I'm just drop it in the comments. The comments are there for you. Get in there, say stuff if you don't like what I'm saying, say it too. I don't back down from anything. But yeah, I appreciate everybody joining me tonight. This is some good stuff. Kimar Roach back into the attack. So Graves just got a break, and let's see what can happen here. Yeah, we got 3 slips in the there, so they're expecting nicks. They're expecting some edges right here. I think Kimar Roach is a skillful bowler. He hasn't been doing it. We need him to do something. Yeah. If we can get Mitch Marsh House out before lunch or Travis Head, I would say 2 wickets for West Indies before lunch, and then they're in a really good position. One, and I would say it's probably about even in the match in general. Yeah, yeah. But right now they're trailing by 6 to 6 runs, so West Indies need wickets, and they need them fast, and probably back to back. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it's good to hang out with you guys. I appreciate everybody coming on the live tonight. Cricket is important to me, so is other sports, and I want to thank you so much for being with me. But yeah, thanks everybody. I'm gonna sign off because I know you guys like to hear me talk. I'm not getting any feedback from you guys, but make sure you watch the cricket. I'll try to come back tomorrow again, and maybe the West Indies might be in a better. Oh, there's a lot of edge there off Marsh, but still falling short. So if you're playing with soft hand seems to be the thing you need. Every time I'm saying I'm signing off, there's something exciting happening, but you need some soft hands. I don't know if that was much of a soft hands, but I think he's playing with a little bit of a soft hand there. And yeah, so there's things. The wicket is doing something. I think a little bit more skillful bowling, and we might be able to prize another wicket before lunch. Yeah, good drive there. Good stop by Roach as well. Yeah, this is important. Yeah, yeah. Let me know where you're watching from. Yeah, yeah. But I promise you, I'll do a lot more lives. I'm gonna try to do more watch alongs for other sports that I might be watching, just for conversation, just for community, just to hear your thoughts and things. And I got some videos that we'll be putting out soon. On a number of things. I hope you like the diversity of things that we do. Yeah. Well, good evening, Mr. Bovell. Why is the captain changing the bowler so far? I think he's trying to figure out a way to prize a wicket. I mean, I'm not particularly against it. Are you? Are you think it's a bad strategy? Because I mean, it started in the morning, and as soon the first over, obviously for Joseph, he picked out Cameron Green, but then nothing was happening, right? And so at some point, you don't want the Australians to get too comfortable. They're at home, and yeah, trying to changing is the given thing. I don't know how long Graves' spell was for. Maybe he was it like a 5 wicket 5 over spell. I think they probably want him to be fresh as well. So part of it too is to keep them fresh. But I think bringing back Joseph was good. I think bringing Roach at this moment might be an interest. Well, Roach is there. Maybe he's hoping to get 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 head out or something like that. It could be, Roach is often good with left-handers as well. So I'm not quite sure, right? Yeah. We need a wicket though. Alzar is the one that hasn't, he's okay, but he hasn't done. I think he needs to be taking. We need a wicket from Alzari as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Graves. At first, I wasn't sure what Graves was doing. To be honest with you, Jamal, but and then he figured it out, and I think he was thinking on the wicket, and he actually, set up Kawaja, which I was surprised by that because Kawaja seemed settled. Yeah. Ooh, a little heat there from Shamar Joseph. He's not playing around. Yeah. No, it's a no ball. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. He's I think maybe Joseph is trying a little bit too hard to get wickets now. And I understand. So I can't even I don't know why I'm even trying to critique the lad. It's his debut test match, prize wickets, 3 wickets already in the test match. They're taking up big names, Smith, Labuschagne, Cam Green. Yeah. Yeah. But we need another wicket. I'm hoping that West Indies will get to a point where get back a fresh Jaden Seals. Maybe he can do something. Eventually. There's a few other bowlers that can come into the mix. Lovely shot, but I'll be cut off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We need wickets. Tremendous. There's no question about it. Well, guys, yeah, Joseph looks very good. Yeah, he's fantastic, and his story. I know they're harping on the story, and it might be a little bit overblown, but uh, I guess a year ago he was a security guard, right? It's interesting, to break into international cricket so quickly, right? And I hope he can, I hope we can nurture that, right? You can't put additional too much pressure on the lad either. But so far, he's taken to this, like, as they say, a duck to water, right? His batting was aggressive, his bowling is aggressive. Lovely shot. That's a lovely shot by Mitch March right there. Excellent. But he's one for the future. We have to find a way to keep him fit, to keep him grounded, and then you have to support it, right? So I'm happy that Graves got a wicket in support. Now is the time for senior players because the senior players haven't taken any wickets yet. Kimar Roach, all-time West Indies, up on the list. Pass Mikey Holding, is up there with his wickets. It's not. Ooh, he needs to do something. And Shamar Joseph, if you have to think about it, is the premier West Indies bowler, and he should be taking some wickets. Yeah. Well, thanks everyone. I think I'm just looking at the poll, and most of you think West Indies will win this. So I will take it that this is a majority West Indies fan base. Thank you guys for also just engaging with me on the channel, and go check out some other stuff. I have a bunch of other things there. Some things, yeah. He's. Are you from Guyana yourself, or you just know about him? Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, interesting guy. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, there's so much talent still that comes out of the West Indies, and it's just a matter of this Caribbean region finding them and continuing to develop them. And while you do that, you have to fix the business of the cricket, because if you don't fix the business of cricket, then players will just they will prioritize money making cricket, and you can't fault them for that as well, because at the end of the day, careers are very short. And they have to feed their families, and that's the bottom line. Yeah, Guyana, thanks. Yeah, yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, but guys, I'm gonna go to almost. I have to run because I've been here a little bit. I appreciate everybody, and I will be back, and hopefully my main camera won't be a problem next time. But don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.